speakers, invitees, members of the ICAI. I am CA Shilpa Pawani, and it gives me immense pleasure to be hosting this very special event on the International Women's Day. Every year, for more than 100 years now, International Women's Day has been celebrated on the 8th of March. One might wonder, do women really need a special day? Well, every day is a great day to celebrate the amazing women in your life. But International Women's Day gives you an extra reason to do just that. While women have made progress in all spheres, be it professional or personal, disparities do exist. Biases exist. And biased mindsets also exist. These need to change, and change needs to be appreciated and acknowledged, and hence the celebrations. Choose to Challenge is this year's theme, and it encourages us to think critically about our own thoughts and behaviors, as well as how we can further foster gender equality and celebrate women. It is said, where there is a woman, there is magic. Well, we at the ICAI Muscat chapter are proud to have amidst us both men and women who do believe in magic, and we are deeply honored by the presence of each and every one here. Today's event is also special as it is being conducted and hosted by the lady members of the ICAI committee, and our speaker of the day is also a highly accomplished woman. Due credit should also go to all the committee members without whose unstinted support this event would not have been possible. To begin today's program, I now invite CA Ashwini Savrikar, who I know needs no introduction, but today, being the day it is, I would like to say a few words about her. CA Ashwini Savrikar is an audit risk professional which, with about 25 years of experience. And CA Ashwini is currently a part of the managing committee of the ICAI Muscat chapter. She is the immediate past chairperson of the Muscat chapter. She is also a certified information systems auditor, a certified internal auditor, and a CFA charge holder. She has held board positions in ICASA Muscat chapter and the IIA Oman chapter. Ashwini was recently awarded a position among the top 100 women in finance for the year 2000. Apart from her profession, she is also a trained Hindustani classical singer and has won awards, and she sings in various forums. To you, C.A. Ashwini.
Thank you so much, CA Shilpa. For me, addressing the ICAI Muscat chapter is like homecoming, but still thank you so much for the introduction. Good evening to all of you, and it is a privilege for me to chair today's session and welcome you all for the Women's Day special event organized by the Muscat chapter of ICAI. First of all, I wish a very happy Women's Day to all and one, because irrespective of whether you are a woman or a man, you certainly owe your existence on this earth to one wonderful woman, your mother, and to many more who came into your lives as a sister, as a friend, as a daughter, as a colleague, as a teacher, and many more different roles. I would like to quote a statement from Sanskrit here. Yatra naryatsu pujayante ramate tatra devataha, which means where a woman is respected, the divine goodness resides there. Respected dignitaries, Your Excellency Salim Al-Busaidi, Mr. Praveen Kumar from the Indian Embassy to Sultanate of Oman, from our ICAI, CA Kemisha Soni, who is chairman of the Women Leadership Committee, our ICAI Muscat chapter current chairman, CA Rawan and Prabhu, my colleagues on the managing committee and the subcommittees, Dr. Fatin Zadjali, who is our current speaker from the College of Banking and Financial Studies, and all the women and men members attending this event, a very warm welcome to you all. Friends, regarding women in the field of finance and accounting, well, this field has traditionally always been dominated by men. Girls join Commerce College, but very few of them actually take up professional courses, and even lesser become professionals like chartered accountants and continue their journey after marriage and children in a professional manner. But this trend is changing slowly but surely. We see more women in the C-suite positions and in corporate boardrooms. I'm sure Kemisha ji will give us probably some latest gender statistics about students appearing for CA exams and those who are clearing them successfully. We at the Muscat chapter of ICAI are very proud of the fact that we have had more women members with us, and they are also supporting the profession and our chapter activities in different capacities. In fact, in the 12 years of our existence, we've had 3 women chairpersons, starting with CA Anuradha Venket, who's here with us on the panel, CA Aastha Rangan, and then I had the privilege to be the third woman chairperson of the chapter. Our current chairman, CA Rawan Prabhu, has initiated this new initiative of subcommittee for women empowerment, and I congratulate him for this initiative, because this is certainly going to help us have more women help the profession and come on the chapter side and contribute more towards the chapter activities as well. And this is the right opportunity for me to take a few names of these strong women who've been with us with the chapter and supporting us. CA Nalini Subramaniam, for one. Last year, she gave her unrelentless support, diligent support, being at the registration desk for every CPE event when we were having the physical events. And now, CA Shilpa Pawani, who's been recently comparing and recently being the MC and the host for all our virtual events. CA Afshan Patel ji, who has been our support, who has helped us with our writings in the media and has been special observer for the CA examinations. Talking about CA special observers for the CA examinations, there are so many names: CA Sujata Bhatt, CA Suparna, CA Nalini again, CA Afshan Patel again. And I'm sure there are many more women members who have helped us being the special observers. More women members like CA Harsha, CA Dipshika, they've helped us in family events and many more. CA Sangeeta Suresh, who helped us conduct a 5-day training course at CBFS. I apologize for any names that I might have missed out, but I would like to take this opportunity to congratulate and clap for each one of them, because it's for them who and their contributions to this chapter, which has definitely helped us. With this new initiative of the Women Empowerment Committee, we would really like more women to come onto the managing committee. And in the month of May, we would have our new AGM. The next AGM would be conducted where the 8 positions will be coming up for election. And I really urge our women members to come forward and contest the elections. Well, though it's a Women's Day, I would like to thrust upon the need for a healthy balance. And frankly, I would not like the scales to be tilted in favor of women. Rather, I would like to see both men and women getting equal opportunities, irrespective of gender. Opportunities that are based purely on merit. We, as today's professionals and as parents of young boys and girls, have to ensure they understand that gender does not matter for career choices, and that career choices should rather be based on what you like and what you are good at. On this note, I once again welcome all of you for today's event, where we will hear from dignitaries on the account of Women's Day celebration. And also we will have a technical session on a very pertinent topic, being Islamic finance, from our Dr. Fatin. So sit back and get enriched with knowledge being shared. Over to you, CA Shilpa.
Thank you, CA Ashwini. Congratulations on this new committee. I look forward to interesting events and changes coming in with that. May I now request CA Anu Venkat, who has been our first woman chairperson in the ICAI chapter, to please introduce and welcome our chief guest, His Excellency Syed Salim bin Muslim bin Ali Al Busaidi, the Undersecretary of the Ministry of Labour for Human Resource Development. To you, CA Anu.
Thank you, Shilpa. Very happy International Women's Day to everyone. It is indeed my pleasure and privilege to introduce His Excellency Syed Salim Ali Al-Busaidi. He is currently the Undersecretary of the Ministry of Labour for Human Resources Development since August 2020. H.E. Syed Salim earned his bachelor's degree in law in 1987 from the Muhammad V University in Morocco and achieved his diploma in diplomacy from Oxford University in 1994. He started his career in 1988 with the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, where later in 2005, he was assigned as an advisor to the Embassy of the Sultanate of Oman in the United Kingdom. H.E. Syed Salim was awarded the Oman Civil Order on the 40th National Day by His Majesty Sultan Qaboos bin Said. H.E. Syed Salim is also a founder and a partner of several companies in the private sector. He is the Vice Chairman of the Institute of Public Administration and Chairman of the Governance and Institutional Performance Committee in Oman Vision 2040. He is also a member of the Steering Committee for the establishment of the University of Technology and Applied Sciences. He is a member of the Board of Directors of the Public Authority of Small and Medium Enterprises. H.E. Syed Salim has participated in various seminars and conferences locally, regionally, and internationally, and has presented various working papers and presentations which focus on administrative development and human resources. I think we can go on with HE's various achievements and accolades, but in the interest of time, this is actually a short introduction capturing some of his key roles and his achievements. Thank you. Over to you, Shilpa.
Thank you, C. Anuradha. His Excellency, would you like to share share a few words with us?
Yes. First of all, thank you for everybody, and have a very happy International Women's Day for everybody, for our families, for the women, for our sisters, for our daughters in Oman, outside Oman. It is an honor to speak in this celebration at this moment. And I will try to do some shadowing about the policy of the Ministry of Manpower, how we are trying to empower the quality, the competence, no difference between women or men in Oman. As you know, maybe as you're aware that in our law, private or public law, doesn't make any discrimination between the men or the women as a gender. Saying that there is a positive discrimination, to be honest, in the university, because the women, they are really working hard. And they are really, if we open the full windows for them, they will get all the chairs in the University of Sultan Qaboos. So at the moment, we have a quota 50-50 for men and women to enter the Sultan Qaboos University also, and also for the scholarship. That's one. The other thing that in the Ministry of Civil Service, we have nearly 47% of the capacity working is women's. We have to admire and to admit also that we have low percentage in the leadership of position in the civil service position, but we are trying hard to improve this percentage, mainly in the other sectors, not in the education sector. In the schools, women, they are dominating the schools as managers of most of the schools in the Sultanate. For the new law, which is coming now for the private and public sector, it doesn't differ, doesn't make any discrimination between the women and the men. instead of the salary, timing. In fact, we are trying to give more incentives for the women to encourage them to be more protective in the work environment. It means that we can give freedom now. We are trying to give a freedom that to work from the home or the house, especially this kind of tools. It helps the women, especially that who have multiple tasks in their families or in their physical structure. So that's a window to encourage the women to serve more and more in the government, provided that we give them the tools to work remotely, not only from the physical ministries, from their homes. That's one thing. The other thing also, we don't differ between the salary scale between the women or the men here in Oman. It is equal, it is the same. In fact, there are now, we are trying to give advantage for the women for the retirement scheme. We think that the women, they deserve to have flexibility to quit the work in early stage compared to the men. We are trying also to encourage the women to give them better rule, better empowerment in the different sectors in the government and the private. In fact, most of the project now in Oman, important project, we have a project manager, it is women's. We think that I think the women are more serious, more dedicated, more focused to achieve their goals. We are here to facilitate the life for others, especially our mothers, sisters. In fact, we have a problem, to be honest, also that we have challenged that more seeking jobs in the government and private sector are women. Nearly 65% of the candidates who are looking for a job now in Oman, they are from the women. And that is indicator, if we look to it from positive angle, they are more productive, more focused in their education, learning curve. They want to achieve themselves. We understand that. We have also to encourage the society to give more role for our women to rule and also to share the ruling between men and women. Anyway, our constitution or our laws in Oman, it doesn't make any differentiation between the women's or the men's. The quality, the competency it makes the difference between men or women. Saying that, because of the culture, my country, we need also more time also to see the most of maybe position in Oman led by women. We have now minister to be honest, in the most sector in Oman led by women. It is education, the higher education and non-higher education, it leads by women. Also the CEO of the enterprise, it is leading by a woman. We have several also women in the cabinet and also as ambassador, as undersecretary, also the health sector, in the education sector, in the university, and also as business women. Anyway, our ministry and myself and our team, women's and men's, we are happy to offer our services for everybody. And finally, I'll take this opportunity that if anything from our side as a Ministry of Labor, we can be participating in enhancing or developing or getting more positive environment for the women. We are happy to be partnering with you. Thank you very much, and I hope all the success for your organization. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Your Excellency. It's so wonderful to hear such good thoughts. And truly, in Oman, really the women are given equal status. We can actually feel it, the kind of respect, and the laws, as you said, have always been the same. And we are very happy and proud to be a part of Oman. Thank you so much for your kind words, sir.
Thank you very much.
It's now my privilege to introduce and welcome another guest of honor, Mr. Praveen Kumar, who is the second secretary in the Embassy of India. He is a postgraduate in statistics from Hindu College, Delhi University, 1997. He has served in various capacities in the Indian missions abroad in Damascus, Tehran, Bangkok, and Addis Ababa. At the Ministry of External Affairs, New Delhi, he worked in the Americas Division, Human Resources, and Investment and Trade Promotion Division. He loves music, watching, and playing cricket. We are honored by your presence, sir. We would like you to share a few words. Mr. Praveen Kumar, please.
Am I audible? Yeah.
Yes,
Good
you
evening,
are.
namaste, and salam alaikum. Chief Guest, His Excellency Al-Sayyid Salim Musalam Al-Busaidi, Under Secretary, Ministry of Labour, Sultanate of Oman. CA Nihar Jambusari, President, ICAI. CA Kemisha Soni, Central Council Member, ICAI. CA Ashwini Savrikar. CA Prabhu, Chairperson, Muscat Chapter, ICAI. Speaker of the day, Dr. Fatin Zadjali, CBFS, all other distinguished guests. At the outset, on behalf of Embassy of India, Muscat, I wish you all a very happy International Women's Day. I congratulate CA Prabhu and his managing committee to organize this event. I'm happy and honored to be part of this International Women's Day celebration with participation of strong and intellectual women, and to get insights on such a significant topic of Islamic finance. I feel that as the appeal of Islamic finance continues to grow, more women are seeking opportunities within the sector. This is making them financially independent and empowering them to contribute to the society by a larger extent. It fills me with a sense of pride to see that so many women nowadays are in very senior positions in banks and in financial sector, and they are getting all necessary support to enhance their skill set from the sector they are working and the concerned governments. I believe that women will stand shoulder to shoulder with their male counterparts and play an even larger role in Islamic finance. I take this opportunity to humbly congratulate His Majesty Sultan Haitham bin Tariq Al Said for his continuous attention accorded to the welfare of women in the Sultanate of Oman, for his vision, leadership, and government, which reflects the conviction that women remain partners in the nation building and part of our success and growth, and move forward with confidence. I also take this opportunity to congratulate ICAI Muscat chapter team for being awarded one of the best overseas chapter award for 2020 from ICAI for the 6th consecutive year in a row. And it speaks the highest level of standards and program of the Muscat chapter ICAI. Congratulations for that. And I take also this opportunity to congratulate CA Ashwini Savrikar, Chairperson, Women Empowerment Committee, ICAI Muscat chapter, for organizing this event and wishing this event great success. With once again, wish all of you a very happy International Women's Day. Thank you. Namaskar.
Thank you so much for your kind words. We are honored by your presence. It's now may I request CA Nalini to please introduce Central Council member CA Kemisha Soni.
It's my pleasure to introduce CA Kemisha Soni. She has served on the Women Leadership Committee of the South Asian Federation of Accountants for 2 consecutive years, 2019 and 2020. She's chairperson of the Continuing Professional Education Committee of ICAI and on the Women Members Empowerment Committee for the 2nd year in succession. She's vice president of the Ethical Standards Board and convener of the Digital Reengineering and Learning Directorate of the Institute of Chartered Accountants of India. CA Kemisha is serving a 2nd consecutive term in the Central Council of the Institute of Chartered Accountants of India. With this very short introduction, I would invite CA Kemisha to say a few words today.
Thank you, Nalini. Greetings, everyone. Our chief guest, His Excellency Sayyid Salim Musalam Al Busaidi, Honorable Mr. Praveen Kumar, guest speaker Dr. Fatin, our chairman Muscat chapter Rawan Prabhu, and entire managing committee. Here I would say 3 A's, the face of empowerment of Muscat chapter, Anuradha, Aastha and Ashwini, and dear participants. I wish everyone a very happy International Women's Day. And I would say that International Women's Day is not only today, it is every day. And the theme for this year's International Women's Day is choose to challenge. It indicates that a challenged world is an alert world, and from challenge comes change. So this year we can all choose to challenge everything that has been holding us back and become better lives. As we celebrate today, it is important to recognize that everyone is united by an eagerness to learn from each other, share ideas, and explore how we can continue to progress in an age of new technologies and rapidly emerging professional opportunities. First, here I would like to mention about SDG 5, that is gender equality. Inclusion of the issue of women empowerment in UN Sustainable Goals underlines the inheritance, importance, and the criticality of these factors for overall economic and social development. And achieving gender equality as a cross-cutting issue in the SDGs requires that females are included at all stages of policy development, means of implementation, monitoring, and accountability. Women's empowerment and achieving gender equality is essential for our society to ensure the sustainable development of a country. And as mentioned by His Excellency, that in Oman also you have added that gender equality SDG goal 5 also at corporate and in government segment also. So many world leaders and scholars have argued that sustainable development is impossible without gender equality and women's empowerment. So we can say empowerment is the process that creates power in individuals over their own lives, society, and in their communities. People are empowered when they are able to access the opportunities available to them without limitations and restrictions, such as in education, profession, and lifestyle. Feeling entitled to make your own decision creates a sense of empowerment, and empowerment includes the action of raising the status of women through education, raising awareness, literacy, and training. So simply, it is not about advancing women, it's about working together, men and women, for the benefit of the profession. So also, I'm a great believer in the power of technology to make work-life balance better for everybody in the profession, especially for working women and the sandwich generation who shoulder the double burden of work and family care. We can clearly see the benefits of technologies such as automation and robotics today in reducing workloads and routine tasks, especially for those in the audit profession, audit accountancy profession, as well as in the finance function. So this year, our WMEC theme is Digital Empowerment for Better Tomorrow. In addition, the Internet of Things such as audiobooks and e-learning make it easier to enhance knowledge and skill. Dear participants, in the present challenging times, when the world is facing crisis in the form of COVID-19 pandemic, the women professional needs to come out stronger to be role model and to contribute towards the revival of economy. This situation should taken as a challenge to fearless and learn more. Our women member needs to realign themselves and innovate to face the emerging realities to maintain the competitive as achieved by the profession. Now, in Indian context, about the strength of women members, we have approximately 87,000 women chartered accountants, which account for an impressive 27% of the total member base. Even the number of female students is increasing with time, and today we have more than 45% girl students registered for the course. And these numbers are encouraging for the future of the accounting profession also. And coming to talking about Women Member Empowerment Committee, the Women Member Empowerment Committee constituted by the ICAI to augment women-centric programs and initiatives for making them as a mainstream performer at all levels, from corporate leadership to academics to practice. And year 21-22 is marked for women participant as lead performer of mainstream profession. The main purpose of formation of WMEC is to put women in a leadership role, be it in practice or corporate scenarios. In these difficult situations, the Women Member Empowerment Committee of the ICAI is constantly making efforts to disseminate up-to-date knowledge and awareness for our women members. And we are making efforts to create opportunities for women members in a digital age and make them aware of the same. And one of our initiative is a dedicated women's portal, which provides our women members a medium through which they can post their requirements and can explore flexi working options available for them. It also aims to provide a common platform to our women members to update their knowledge and share their views and concerns. Here, on this portal, companies, corporates, and firm can also upload their details related to requirement as a partner or employee or on part-time basis or on assignment basis, and also location-wise also. So apart from flexi working job opportunity, also includes new areas of practice, ICAI initiatives for the women members, events, workshops, seminars, networking opportunity, motivational thoughts and videos, and success stories of women members. Also, we have already uploaded on our portal. I would request our female participants, they can also send their success story to our WMEC. Definitely, we will upload on our portal. And this year, our focus area also includes promoting and accelerating women empowerment initiative of Government of India, also Niti Aayog also. And we have also designed some virtual training program. For example, independent women director training program, train the trainer, means faculty development program, entrepreneurship program, digital learning program, and all modules related to that already uploaded on our digital learning hub of ICAI. So ICAI is going to launch one more initiative. I am sharing that ICAI is going to launch ICAI search engine named CA Connect, where stakeholder and corporate and from entire world search as per areas and services wise CS detail, chartered accountants detail. So the Women Member Empowerment Committee is committed to provide a platform to its women member for interacting and empowering themselves, so that each one of us could eventually contribute to our national economy and its development. And WMEC aims to undertake various capacity building initiatives to make women members an integral part of decision-making process, thereby making them socially and economically independent. Dear members, coming on the topic on Islamic finance, I would like to say that it is something which is relevant in today's time and would definitely result in a very informative session for all present here virtually. And I wish the conference a great success. Now, I would not take much time since we are eagerly waiting to hear the eminent personality. Once again, I convey my deep sense of gratitude to the Muscat chapter for giving me an opportunity to meet the members. Thank you very much.
Thank you, CA Kemisha Soni. It was very nice to hear about you, about all the initiatives that the ICAI is undertaking. I'm sure to look for that female portal and I'll have a look. It seems very interesting. I know it might not be too relevant for people in Muscat, but I'm glad that such an initiative is there. You know, the motto of the day, this year's event is called, I choose to challenge. And at this point, I request all of us to keep our cameras on and let's raise our hand up and strike the pose. So I request the host, the technical host, to please put it on please put it on gallery view, so all of us can be seen. Yes. So let's all strike our pose for the day. Raviji, your hand has to be up, so in support of this challenge. And I guess we'll need someone to click the picture. So is the picture taken?
Raviji, you're on mute.
Who will take the photo actually?
You should take it.
Okay, anyway, it's getting recorded. So thank you
We'll
for your
take a
support.
screenshot.
And I would also request all our lady members who are online to raise your hand virtually so we can bring you into the picture as well.
If you excuse me, I'll leave you now to pray because it's time for praying, and I will join you later on.
Thank you,
Thank you so much for
Thank you,
your presence here today. We are really honored.
Thank you very much.
Thank you,
Thank you, sir.
Excellency.
Sangeeta Suresh Kumar is here. I'm promoting to
Yeah,
Kashmir. And Talal Balushi,
so if there are any CA members, maybe they can, Raviji, can you bring them up to the panelists so that we can have the lady members also join in for the picture?
I'm making them as a panelist. Babita Musa has joined and Sangeeta Suresh Kumar has joined. Can you switch on the videos, please? Badri Atif said. Ahmed Al Rasdi, Atif, I don't know. And then
Welcome, CA Babita.
Sajid.
So there are two cameras which are still not switched on. So we can again strike our pose with all our lady members present.
CA Sangeeta, can you switch on your camera?
Please.
Any other lady members are there? Please raise your hands in the attendees. So, Shilpa ji, shall we go out? Shall we unmute yourself? Shall we stop video for us for the main? Or you want
Yes.
to take? Yeah.
Then it will be easier for you to take a picture also.
This is
I can't see the gallery view. Are we on gallery view?
yeah,
Yes,
we are the gallery.
yes.
You have to do it yourself on your screen.
I thought.
So now I gallery view for everybody now.
True. Thank you.
Okay, print scale. Okay.
Sangeeta ji ne.
Sangeeta ji's video is off.
I have to do.
Thank you.
I can.
Thank you. Done?
Done. Thank you.
Yeah, we also have, thank you so much for striking the pose. We also have some wishes from our other lady members and eminent personalities from Oman who are sending their wishes to the ICAI chapter and the women. So I would request Raviji to please play those messages now.
First, let's have the video. Shilpa ji, we'll have this presentation. We'll introduce First message is coming from Sayyida Rawan. Okay.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Ladies and gentlemen, I am pleased to meet you today to celebrate the International Women's Day 2021. The occasion is a success in its own right. This year, we are gathered to celebrate it in a world taken by unfavorable circumstances in all its corners. As usual, women have to take the lion's share in any exceptional event. With challenges imposed by armed conflict, displacement, desertion, and natural disasters, the pandemic came to be added to the list, and the woman will come out victorious like she always did, and now she is growing stronger. The Women's Day reminds all the nations of Earth of the sanctity of this occasion, and urge those nations to pay due care in empowering the woman in order to enable her to practice her natural role of saving and preserving life, in addition to her efforts in gaining the means of decent living for herself and her family. This year, the Women's Day celebration in Oman is different. Although women were able to achieve some legislative penetrations, but the real positive boost came with Oman's First Lady, who lifted women's empowerment to a strategic state-level decision. With this good news coming from Oman, I am pleased to congratulate the First Honorable Lady, the wife of His Majesty the Sultan Haytham bin Tariq, and to congratulate my fellow sisters, the women of Oman, wishing them a bright future full of proudness and success. Thank you.
This is a message coming from Sayyida. Shilpa ji, can we give the certificate for Sayyida? Shilpa ji, over to you. Shilpa ji.
Sorry, I was muted. Thank you so much, Ravi ji. In appreciation for your kind message, this Sayyida, Dr. Rawan Ahmed said, please accept this certificate for this lovely message that you sent for us.
And now next message is coming from Najat Lawatia, Deputy Director General of Support Services in Civil Service Employees Pension Fund. So,
Good evening, everyone. Happy International Women's Day. Today, we celebrate the progress and achievement of women globally. I'm very pleased to see that ICAI Muscat Chapter is celebrating International Women's Day and happy to be part of this evening. I wish all success to the ICAI Muscat Chapter and to all strong and beautiful female finance professionals. This year's theme of today's day, kept by United Nations, is Women in Leadership Role Achieving Equal Future in COVID-19 World. This theme has great meaning. Women are smart, honest, caring, powerful, beautiful, and having multiple layers of strength. They are stronger than they think. We can be a great leader, so never underestimate our talent. In Oman, many of Omani ladies has shown their competence and performing well in leadership role in finance and accounting field. It's a proud moment to see Dr. Fatin bin Saeed Zadjali, Acting Assistant, Dean Academic Support and Student Affairs in College of Banking and Financial Studies, who will be addressing a talk on Islamic finance. Thank you, Mr. Ramanand Prabhu, for inviting me for the event and wish all success to ICAI Muscat chapter for the event. Once again, Happy International Women's Day. Thank you. Good evening, everyone.
Thank you so much, Ms. Najat Lawatia. That was really a lovely message. And in appreciation of that message, we would like to present to you a certificate. We'll be honored if you accept it.
Next message is coming from
Ms. Zaliya Al-Balushi, the Deputy General Manager of Ahli Bank, Oman.
Globally and locally in Oman, we celebrate Women's Day to honor the achievement of the women in various fields. This celebration gives acknowledgement to those women's personalities who have excelled in their own fields. Certainly, women have contributed significantly to the welfare of the society and country subsequently. It is a great responsibility to empower the woman. Also, it is a necessary for the gender equality. Moreover, society is better when women are given equal respect and are not taken for granted. In the past, women used to be, restricted in home and were not permitted to step out of her house. But today, woman is getting her value. She got her place, and she is treated equally with the man. Women are making difference to the world around her, and most importantly, they play a vital role in upbringing of children and making a home. Our responsibility is to honor and appreciate the women who are making success in their lives and bringing success into the other lives, other women's lives, and other women around them. To conclude this, it feels nice to have a day to celebrate the achievement of women, those in this International Women's Day. Let's recognize the significance of women in our lives and society and inspire them for greater future achievement as they can contribute equally to the home, society, and nation. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Ms. Zaliya, for your kind words. It was really a beautiful message. We have a certificate to present to you for your lovely message. Please accept this certificate.
Aji. Next message is coming from Kala.
Thank you. The next message
you can continue.
Is from Ms. Kala Krishnamoorthy, who is the chairperson of Singapore chapter of ICAI.
It's Kala.
Oh, sorry.
Greetings from ICAI Singapore chapter. Women are the real architects of society. It's not about making women strong. Women are already strong. It's about changing the way the world perceives that strength. You should never let your fears prevent you from doing what you know is right. I congratulate His Majesty Sultan Haytham bin Tariq Al Said for his continuous attention accorded to women in the Sultanate, for his vision, leadership, government, and people, and reflects the conviction that women remain partners in the nation building and part of our success growth and move forward with confidence. I also congratulate CA Ashwini Savrikar, Chairperson, Women Empowerment Committee of ICAI Muscat Chapter, for organizing this event and wishing this event great success, and wish you all a happy Women's Day. Thank you.
Thank you.
Ms. Kala, thank you so much for your kind wishes. We have a small certificate to be presented to you. Please accept that certificate.
Wait.
We now move on to the, okay, the certificate is coming up.
Okay. Next is yes.
Now we move on to, yes, now we move on to our technical session of the day. So I request CA Afshan Patel to please the day, Dr. Fatin.
Thank you, Shilpa. Happy Women's Day to everybody. It gives me great pleasure to introduce our speaker of the day, Dr. Fatin Zadjali, who is the Acting Assistant Dean for Academic Support and Student Affairs and Head of Islamic Finance at CBFS. She began her career as a banker and worked in 2 of the major banks in Oman in the investment banking divisions. She subsequently joined CBFS and moved into the role of academic and training faculty. She has done her bachelor's in business from Australia, diploma in banking from IBFS, and MBA from University of Strathclyde, UK, and PhD in Islamic finance at INSEAD, Malaysia. Her areas of training expertise are behavioral skills, Islamic banking, social and green finance. She has delivered training sessions to employees of Central Bank of Oman, Meetak, Bank Muscat, and other local banks. Dr. Fatin was the Vice President of the Research Club at INSEAD for 2 years. She is currently publishing a paper, a very topical one, on the impact of COVID-19 on the GCC stock market, risk and returns of Sharia and non-Sharia compliant stocks. I would like to invite Dr. Fatin to deliver her lecture.
Hello and welcome everyone and distinguished guest ICAI members. I'm very honored and it's my pleasure to be on board to discuss today a very dear topic to my heart, which is Islamic finance. As Ms. Asfan Patel has introduced me, I was an ex-banker. And let me start with a story before I begin my, sharing the slides and begin sharing the material that I have prepared for you today. As a banker, I do recall that I did have an experience working in a branch. And I do recall a gentleman coming and approaching us as the frontline staff members to advise him on a dilemma. It seems that he is in debt and he requires funds. So he wanted to access finance to deal with the dilemma that he has, which is a short-term one. So he approached us asking for a solution. And, as bankers, we thought that since he is looking for financing, and he doesn't have enough, short-term liquidity at the moment, let us give him a credit card. And, the issue is that the whole financial system is built upon this burden over the burden. And hence my passion to see something different. And I'm sure that you are thinking, what's wrong with our financial system? Why it is not, stable? Why do we have a crisis every 10 years? Why did we have the subprime mortgages crisis in 2008? And now we are also in some kind of a survival mode to ensure that we can sustain ourselves in future. So I'm going to share my screen. Hopefully you can see the presentation that I have prepared for you today. Please do confirm if you can see my screen.
Yes, your screen is to be seen. Thank you, Doctor.
Yes, wonderful. So the session today is on Islamic finance, and it's a very dear topic to my heart, as I have explained to you all. And this is the outline, a very brief introduction. I would like that this particular session, I would like it to be an interactive one. So I'm not gonna, dwell into the technicalities. I would like to also have your views and something else as well. I'm gonna give you a quiz. Embracing digitization, meaning that we need to use those beautiful smartphones that we have in a very handy way. So prepare, and I hope that you will be attentive, because at the end of the session, I'm going to give you a very simple quiz also for the benefit of the time. So the outline, we are going to introduce the Islamic finance intermediation, the sources of funds in Islamic finance, the uses of these particular funds, the challenges by Islamic finance institutions, the applications of the instruments. Specifically, I'm going to mention one that is debt-based, murabaha financing, and equity-based, mudaraba financing. And we'll end with a Q&A session. So this is the conventional intermediation system, what we know as we know it today in the conventional banking industry. So the bank, financial intermediation, is centered around collecting the deposits from the depositors, whether it is a current deposit, saving deposit, fixed deposit, and of course, on top of it, we have the shareholder funds. And of course, the conventional banking would lend loans to the interested borrowers who wish to take up those particular loans in the form of course, a typical loan and investment opportunities, which usually you do that by opening a fixed deposit scheme. Now, this happens when you have, an intention to place your money in the conventional bank, you place it as a short-term deposit. What happens is the bank uses the depositors' money to grant loans for the borrowers. So it's kind of a borrower-lender relationship between the client and the conventional bank. The conventional bank justifies the interest they are taking, which is called the interest rate spread, by providing the longer term interest rate funding to the loans that they are granting to the customers who require that particular capital. And this is the basis of all conventional banks as we know it recently. Now, moving on to the Islamic banks, the difference between the interpretation of the regular banking and the Islamic banking. Let me also reiterate a very important point, that when the bank lends money to any borrower, the bank does not ask, where are you or how do you utilize that particular funding? So they are lending money and they do not know where that particular money goes. So if you wanted to purchase a car, they just ask you, how much do you want? And they will give you that particular amount and you move on. So in Islamic finance and Islamic banking in particular, it is a different case. So this is the intermediation system in Islamic banks. So what happens in the Islamic financial system is, yes, you do collect depositors' money, and we have a very interesting product range in Islamic finance. So this is the Islamic finance, we shareholder fund as usual. Of course, just to let you know and reiterate that in Islamic finance institutions, they actually require extra capital than a regular banking system. So they have to be really secure to ensure that they can fund all the interested, Islamic finance instruments, the Islamic finance instrument products and services. So the product range in Islamic finance is a bit different. We have equity-based financing. This is really interesting because it differs from like an investment account or a kind of an investment characteristic in the regular or conventional bank. We have sale-based financing. because the basic prohibition in Islamic finance is we do not want to charge excess. We call that excess riba. And in the scriptures, the Quran mentions that the sale is permissible, which we know as riba. So we do have a sale-based transaction with the Islamic financial interest in the Islamic financial itself. And if we have pure investments, what we are gonna mention briefly an ijara contract that you would like to, what you are gaining from that particular transaction is further, it is in the waivement if you opt for the ijara of the day. So this is one simple example. And then the justification is in the use of the services, of the products, and of the use of rent. So it has to be something happening in the economy of the country in which you are actually transacting in, and you are contributing in the economy as a sale or an ijara, as a lease, or as an investment or equity based. And as I said, I am going to explain two products. One is debt based today, and the other one is equity based one. So moving forward. So unlike in conventional finance, money is not treated as a commodity in Islamic finance and cannot multiply its by interest earning or speculation. We do not speculate. Speculation in Islamic finance is called the gharar, and there is a minor gharar which is permissible. Deal to the horse race, and so into loans does not justify the spread, as I have explained earlier. It is pure return on money in a form of Sharia perspective that does not constitute a justification for the spread that the institution is taking. Moving forward, what are the sources of funding when it comes to Islamic financial institutions? The extension of Islamic finance role to identify projects in which the customer fund can be invested, which is mudaraba contract, we call it as well in English, partnership. Bank as a mudarib and a customer as Rabbul Mal. Now, this is a very interesting relationship. This is no longer, the relationship between a borrower and a lender. The bank can actually act as an investor. He can be investing your money, providing you the return for the investment that you have provided, whether it's an investment account or it could be even something called sukuk. And the sukuk market, of course, I'm not gonna, explain it here, but it is possible through the special purpose vehicle. We'll just explain the mudaraba in a very simple term. So the Islamic bank can act as the mudarib for the customer and can invest that money to provide returns for the customer. If the IF perspective on income is tied up to an underlying transaction and takes the form of share of profit and loss rather than a spread, Rabbul Mal is an investor, not a creditor. So the very interesting thing about mudaraba is the bank can be the Rabbul Mal and can be the investor. So that is called parallel mudaraba, which I'm going to explain it briefly before in the next few slides. So bear with me on this one. I know it must be, you have a couple of questions on this, but there will be a very nice explanation going forward with the draw. So the uses of funds. So these are the sources of funds. We take the depositor's money. Yes, we justify the spread by taking the risk, but then we contribute to a real economic activity in the economy. And how do we use these funds? By the product range offered at the Islamic finance. So the Islamic finance is closer to a merchant banking, not borrower lending relationship. There are three major applications. Most preferable are the deferred contracts of exchange known as fixed income instruments, which are the murabaha, we call it profit plus markup, or sale plus markup, excuse me, ijara, the lease contract, salam and istisna, which is based on the product itself. Salam is used usually for agricultural, products that you would like to cultivate. Usually farmers would like to have spot payment, and there are some conditions when it comes to the transactions in Islamic finance in which salam is considered to be an exception. The spot payment is done in advance as opposed to the other transactions, which I'm going to explain in the next few slides. And istisna is for manufacturing of some Islamic financial products. So regulators and Islamic finance institutions prefer the above, which is debt-based instruments. These are known to be debt-based instruments and deferred contracts of exchange. But then we have the regulators and Islamic finance scholars. They are more into the equity-based instruments known as mudaraba and musharaka. Why? Now this is interesting. This is considered to be the debt-based instruments, murabaha, ijara, salam and istisna, and we have mudaraba and musharaka equity characteristics. It has an equity characteristic, and most of the scholars prefer this particular contract. Why? So this particular is on the uses of funds, which I have explained. So we have profit area, asset financing. It could be in murabaha basis, and this one in equity basis, mudaraba. Ijara, istisna, and salam is, as I said, it's a deferred sale, but then it is also debt-based. It could be a service, and hawala, the transfer. These are the the different types of products offered in the Islamic financial institution. Now, this is the dilemma between the scholars and the business needs, or how the Islamic banks are trying to balance between the debt-based and the equity-based products. The business needs is the fact that most of individuals have needs, have an underlying need to purchase stuff. We want cars, we want homes, we want assets from the market. So what do? We go to the Islamic bank and we tell them of our intention to buy these particular assets. The Islamic bank would request us at that time to bring a LPO, local purchase order, to see that you are actually in need of that asset and how much does this asset cost you. When it comes to Sharia scholars' reinforcement, they prefer that you finance some of those needs in a different way. For instance, if you would like to buy a property because you are intending to open a restaurant, why don't you approach the bank in a different relationship? That particular relationship includes musharaka, and that in which the bank actually is taking your feasibility analysis of the project that you are coming into and explaining to see if he can enter with you as a musharik, and this means that he is taking ownership of part of the project. Now this is quite risky, but this is what the Sharia scholars are looking for, and this is where the Islamic banking system can actually make the change instead of having a lot of debt and supplying money at the end of the spectrum without having real economic value. This is debatable. Yes, it is risky, yes, it is something that, we'll see a lot of debate in. Probably, a lot of Islamic finance conferences, they discuss this matter, and it becomes important for us to understand that we need to balance between the need of the economy and the business needs, and the fact that banks are into not charitable businesses, but they are profit-based organizations. But then you have to wear something called the social financing hat sometimes. So what are the challenges? So Sharia require investor financer to focus on asset or commercial risk in order to earn a reward. So your risk is your reward. We know that investment, the higher the risk, the higher the reward. So, and you know that you need to diversify your eggs. You cannot put it in one whole basket. So Sharia would like the Islamic financial institution to wear this investor hat instead of all the time providing debt-based transactions and contracts to the customers. The other challenge is the limited knowledge on using Islamic techniques for profit and loss sharing. The principle when it comes to Islamic finance is three main, beautiful, simple principles. The principle number one, it has to be asset-based. So you will come as a customer and you have a need, and that needs need to be known, whether it's a car or an apartment or a house. This is principle number one. Principle number two, risk sharing. As we have mentioned, there are equity-based, characteristics of contracts, such as mudaraba and musharaka. That risk sharing is risky, but then it looks like this is how the Silicon Valley created itself as venture capitalist in the United States of America. So yes, you have to take risk, and the higher the risk, the higher the return. And the principle number three, which is very important for Islamic finance, is the screening process, whether you're actually having a halal product that is permissible in the eyes of Sharia. You have to, of course, take part the products that are considered not to be Sharia compliant, such as alcohol or gambling or weapons and so forth. So these are the basic three principles. Going forward, this is how a mudaraba is usually, in a very simplistic mean, is done. You have the capital, you have the Rab al-Mal, who is the owner of this capital. Rab al-Mal is an Arabic word which is translated for the owner of the capital. And you have the mudarab, the one who comes with an idea. Now this seems to be a bit, very, out there. How can you, as a bank, provide the capital for somebody who has an idea? It just doesn't make sense. That just doesn't make sense. But then that particular system is there even in the Western world. So what happens is between the mudarab and the Rab al-Mal, I come, for instance, Dr. Fatin goes to the bank, Islamic bank, and tell them, I have a very good idea. I think I can open a restaurant, healthy food. Why don't you finance me? In a very good day, the bank would actually agree to come on board with me as a Rab al-Mal, provide me the capital, and then we share proportionately the profit and losses according to a pre-agreed profit rate. So the issue is, with this mudaraba agreement, is that the Rab al-Mal, the owner of the capital, is liable for all the losses unless I, as the mudarib, found to be negligent. So this is the issue when it comes to mudaraba. Now, as I have explained the intermediation process of Islamic banks, the Islamic bank receives a lot of depositors' money. Now, all of us as depositors are called Rab al-Mal, and the bank collects this money, and he would be the mudarib. He is using the funds collected by the depositors to make a profit for the Islamic bank. So what happens is the bank takes the role of mudarib. But then I do have somebody who comes in who would like to enter into a musharaka or mudaraba agreement with me. So what happens is the bank takes the form of Rab al-Mal when he provides capital to this particular individual who would like to invest in a Sharia compliant investment. So here the bank plays two roles: profit and loss with the depositors, profit and loss with the Sharia compliant investment idea generator, who is also known as the Mudarib in this case, and the bank here, Rabbul Mal. So the Islamic bank can take two roles, Rabbul Mal and the Mudarib at the same time. And this is what we call the two-tier Mudaraba structure. Moving forward, this is what I have explained in car. Very nice. I go to buy this particular asset. What happens next is the bank would actually go to the showroom dealer and request for either the bank appoints me as a wakil, as an agent, to act on his behalf and purchase this particular vehicle, or the bank directly goes to the showroom and delivers this particular vehicle to me. So this is one intention and the need to buy this particular car. In the first step, the Islamic bank will request me to sign an undertaking, which is the I am the request or the orderer. I am ordering this transaction. So the Islamic bank would like me to sign something called an undertaking. So when the Islamic bank ensures that he gets the asset, that I will actually buy it from him. Another thing that the Islamic bank would like me to do is pay something called a down payment, what we call in Arabic hamish al-jiddiyya, to ensure that I am serious about this particular transaction. The hamish al-jiddiyya becomes part of the price of the car. However, if I change my mind and if I decided not to continue with the sale, the bank he doesn't have the right to maintain the down payment that I have given the Islamic bank, unless the bank has anchored or had a loss by the transaction and I have not fulfilled my promise by buying. So this is number one, request for financing. Assessment of application, they will assess me, my credit worthiness. Number three, conveys the decision after I have done the undertaking and ensure that I have unilateral promise that I'm going to purchase. Hamish al-Jiddiyya, down payment is collected. The bank agrees that he will finance me for the Murabaha transaction. And number four, sign conveys the decision, that I would take the Murabaha agreement. So then I will be signing an undertaking. Now the bank can go and purchase for me the car. Number six is the delivery of the car to my attention. And number seven, of course, is the installment that I need to pay for the bank on periodical basis and fulfill the Murabaha transaction. So these are the very simple Murabaha agreement. And in the next slide, I'm going to show you how it is done in. So this is the showroom. The supplier will be the showroom. The Islamic bank is the investor in the Murabaha agreement. I am the purchaser. I want the car. So this would be the car. So I enter into the binding promise to purchase. The bank, according to the binding promise to purchase, will pay on spot for the asset. There is delivery of the goods. The bank will sell me the good as a Murabaha agreement, and I will agree to pay on deferred payment basis to the bank until the particular Murabaha agreement suffice, whether it is 4 years, 5 years. It will take as much as time for me to complete this transaction, and the whole asset would be mine at the end of the day. So this is a very simple debt-based transaction done in the Islamic bank. And because I wanted this to be a very interactive session, I have explained the Mudaraba and the Murabaha, and I would like to end it with questions also for the benefit of the time. I know that you have a lot of burning questions, but then before we do the questions, can we go for a Kahoot session to see the information that you have taken from this particular material. Are you ready with your smartphones? Let me go back to you and see how things are. And let me just stop sharing.
I guess so. Dr. Fatin, I have my phone on my hand.
Wonderful. So if you are all ready, I'm going to give you a wonderful play using Kahoot. So it is Kahoot. If you download this from your Play Store, if you download this in the Play Store, I'm going to share my screen again. Apologies, it seems that.
I guess we can play without downloading also, Dr. Fatin, as long as you give us the number.
Okay, 475-1484. So if you can download the Kahoot, Kahoot, very simple questions, just testing, you know, the knowledge on Islamic finance. Yes, SP, here we come. Wonderful. So I hope that you can see my screen, all of you.
Yes, we can.
Wonderful. Yes, because the question will come on my screen and I'd like you to, you know, view and input.
We have a slow and steady numbers going up.
I don't know how to do it for Kahoot.
You just, I'll repeat the instructions again. You just need to go to Kahoot, Kahoot. There is no need to download anything. When you reach there, you'll be asked to put in a code number. The code number is 475-1484. When you do that, you enter the game automatically. There is no need to download as such.
Thank you so much. Okay, so I will give you 2 minutes, another 2 minutes for the others to join because I have only 7 on board as of yet. And I'm sure that we have more participants.
Oh yeah, we have around 30, 35, 40 people. So I request all of you to join in. This seems very interesting. So please do log in, and I'm sure all of you have your phones on hand.
7, 5.
Maybe, Raviji, if you declare a prize, there'll be more people joining in.
Well, I wanted to declare chocolates at my office.
No, chocolate is always there.
You're welcome anytime. Chocolates at my office.
Actually, this is working day, no? So it is like a.
I guess many of them are online on the phone, so maybe they don't have 2 devices.
Okay, okay. This is the dilemma of my students as well. Not an issue. Okay, don't worry.
No issues, Dr. Fatin, we can
So
start.
maybe if we hit the number 10, we could start. So we need one more participant to join, please, and then we'll start. I'm looking for the magic number 10.
Yeah, don't be shy, don't worry. Test your knowledge, and this will enable you also to think. Okay. Magic number 10, anyone? Okay. So shall we start then?
I guess so, yeah.
Yes, okay. 1, 2, 3. Three, two, one. So in a murabaha agreement, if the car was damaged upon delivery to client, who bears the cost or the loss? Is it the Islamic bank, murabaha purchase orderer, conventional bank, or the car showroom?
Murabaha purchase orderer.
Try.
4 left, sir.
Is when the car is supposed to be delivered to the client and the client have physical ownership and this is we have mentioned in that particular graph. That's why it was sequential. Yes, I know it's a bit you know, the time constraint, but I'm happy that you know, you got it right. Payment may be deferred because you are paying installments, right? You're paying installments, and the delivery must be on spot on Murabaha because you're getting the car on spot. You're getting the house on spot. You're getting whatever assets that you're looking for from the Islamic bank on spot. Okay, Nalini, here we go. In order to earn a return, Islamic banks need to focus on what? Credit and obliger risk, production, development, or risk. Raju, you're also welcome. All of you can come. But Nelly, you enjoyed it.
Thank you so much. You are a very good teacher.
Thank you. You're paying attention. That's why.
No, I can blame my screen and my laptop. I'm trying to, most of the time I was trying to click on the laptop, on the screen. But it was an excellent session, and the game was
There is a gut feeling that this something is not adding up, something that we need to do as humans for a human. So I'm welcoming any question. Please, you know, feel free to challenge.
How is Islamic finance going to be beneficial to non-Islamic organizations, Dr. Fatin? What can be the USP? Because
well, Islamic finance. Go ahead. Would you like to complete the question?
No, sure, please. No, that's it. Yeah, because everybody is looking for both Islamic and non-Islamic options these days. And
yes.
So what can be the USP for non-Islamic finance?
Yes. Firstly, since I was in Malaysia, I noted that, you know, there are a lot of customers who are non-Muslims in the Islamic banks in Malaysia. So that was quite interesting because at the end of the day, as a depositor, you are looking for returns. And, you know, higher risk, there are higher returns. So in Malaysia, and they are taking really liberty when it comes to the investment opportunities. In fact, in Bank Negara, they have something called the investment account platform, in which they are happy capital, in which they are, you know, country. Okay, if you can mute yourself.
Let me handle, okay, Geetha. Okay, Geetha.
Ravi?
Yeah, thank you. And of course, Islamic banks insist on assets. If you notice that they insist, so you have to bring actually the LPO. Anytime any customer wants anything from an Islamic bank, he actually has to bring why he needs the funding. Whilst in conventional banks, that question is not there. So that's why you have to know your customer, you have to screen. There is a lot of credit worthiness questions. And so because of the fact of the 2007-8 subprime mortgages issue, where the financial system got, bombarded with, it was, over leveraged, there is a lot of debt. We have to know and do like a mini screening. So it is beneficial because you truly know where the funds are going. So it is backed up with an asset. You know that it's not that you have any issue with the defaulter, you can actually take up the asset. So that question is there. I hope I answered your question.
No, that's absolutely. But if you tell all our members that you're non-Islamic finance, we will follow you, For example, if any special rates for the members of ICAI, I'm sure many members would be willing to consider Islamic finance,
Certainly.
Sure.
Well, yeah. I agree with you totally. Islamic finance institutions has been actually criticized for mimicking the conventional ones. Because if you notice that in the United States, the venture capitalist system, which is purely, based on that concept of mudaraba, they were able to make it because they were able to take the risk. Islamic financial institutions, as any institution, is not a charity. They are looking for profitability at the end of the day. So they would like to protect themselves. There are financial safety nets. They abide by, the IFSB, which is the Islamic Finance Services Board. It is similar to the Bank of International Settlement, the Islamic financial system. So they have been criticized for actually mimicking the conventional banking system. So now that's why the Sharia scholars are saying, you have to take the risk. You have to give mudaraba. You have to, find it in yourself to provide that avenue. You do your due diligence. You do your feasibility analysis and ensure that you are doing the right thing when you are providing those funds to the investors.
Thank you. Thank you for the full session and detailed answers as well, Dr. Fatin.
Thank you so much.
Dr. Fatin, there is the
to learn Islamic banking. Well, you can come to the College of Banking. We are a degree program. We have a degree program in Islamic banking. We also have the Islamic finance qualification. Teach in that program. We are also thinking
out what he has written. Dr. Fatin, as you are presently not a banker, which bank would you suggest to go for Islamic financing?
I have to be diplomatic. This is very tricky, actually. I cannot promote an Islamic bank in Oman, and National Bank has merged. So we are spoiled for options. So whatever you think, do your due diligence. I cannot, sabotage my relationship.
Very diplomatic.
The banks, the Islamic banks or Islamic products are priced by the cost plus a markup.
Yes.
Okay. Now, is that markup not based on the interest rates in the economy?
Yes, it is actually, and that is why a lot of Sharia scholars have issues with basing and benchmarking the profit rate with the interest rate. But they have done that for a reason. which is the withdrawal. You know, there are other risks in the market, and we have to abide by the, when it's not an issue, to base it with the interest rate so far. In fact, now there is discussions to base it with the OIC countries, having, you know, a benchmark with the OIC, which is the Organization of Islamic Countries. There are talks on having a different rate altogether. But then this is quite, you know, destabilizing for some of the economies, because the withdrawal rate from one bank to another, there are, you know, some stability risks that the central bank has to think all over for that particular market. But yes, this is a criticism that Islamic banks receive all the time, the benchmarking of them.
And basing the markup on the interest rates in the economy means that you're bringing in interest, but it's only coming in through the back door.
Well, you know, the thing is, at the end of the day, there are principles that the Islamic financial institutions are abide by. The fact that you have the asset, the fact that there are economic activities happening at your own economy, you know, you are contributing to the circular economy, which is real economic activity, and that's what Islamic finance is very pinned at. Whether it is, yes, I agree with you that there is a criticism, and it's there, yeah, that you are benchmarking with the interest rate. But then if the format, there is a classical debate with scholars. It's called the essence and the format. الجوهر والصيغة, the essence and the format. Now, form and substance. Yes, form of a substance. So if the format is good, it's legit, it's Sharia compliant, then you can move ahead and give the you know, murabaha based contract or the equity based contract, mudaraba, and so forth. If the essence mimicking the conventional banking system, then as we go forward, because we have to start somewhere. We have to start somewhere, and the Islamic finance industry have started only in the 60s, in the 1960s. So it's, you know, comparing to the conventional financial system, it's in an infancy stage. So if we are going to benchmark, at the moment, the Sharia scholars thought that this is good, it's legit, let us start. Maybe we'll have a different rate as we go. As I said, that there are, you know, some discussions with OIC countries when it comes to benchmarking with a special LIBOR for the OIC countries.
And if you think of the origins of maybe why riba was declared non-halal, it was because people should not be burdened with interest. But in current days, I think, I may be wrong, you can correct me, that the product to the consumer is more than a cost of a traditional product, banking product.
Well, the thing is, at the moment, because it is benchmarked, there is no such a difference. However, yes, there are researchers, there are articles that I have read in which there was a claim paying a premium to go to heaven. And again, there is a criticism that why do we have to pay extra? Because, you know, there is a lot of processing. You know, the Islamic financial transactions are quite, you know, detailed and thorough. So you have to pay for the processing fees of processing those applications. I mean, you have the undertaking, then you have the sale, then you have to ensure that it is Sharia compliant, because 2 sale contracts cannot be done in one particular sale contract. So there are conditions, there are terms. So, you know, if the Islamic bank can justify why they are, you know, taking that particular additional cost, and the customer is, you know, feeling he's satisfied, and he can feel that he's, this is the way moving forward, then, you know, he takes up that decision himself. However, as we are speaking now, since it is benchmark, and I did speak about with the withdrawal risk, at the moment, there is not really much of a difference between the profit margin and the interest rate margin in Malaysia, because that research is not done here in the GCC. It seems that there was not big of a difference.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you so much, Dr. Fatin. Are there any more questions to be asked? I guess. Okay, I can see Hilf, and go ahead, sir. You're muted right now.
Your Excellency, your mic is on mute, I believe.
Okay. Yes.
We are not able to hear you, sir.
All right. Dr. Fatin, my question to you, don't you risk when giving traditional banking? That's why the cost is high.
The Islamic banking institutions take more risk. That's why in Musharaka, they actually have a 300% cushion when it comes to giving any customer. So the risk is higher over there. So they can justify that particular passing the cost to the customer. In addition to that, the Islamic banking institution have the mudaraba, and the scholars all the time encourage them to provide avenues for entrepreneurs to collaborate into the many projects that they are having. So yes, it is a higher risk. So that's why it could be a higher return as well. In Malaysia, it's working perfectly for them. I mean, as I said, they have the investment accounting platform. Entrepreneurs are empowered to have, their stalls, and Islamic banks actually, this is from me, my own experience. I had a car in Malaysia, and I had opened an investment account in an Islamic bank in Malaysia, and I was surprised because I was getting a very good return every month, something that I didn't expect. So this is when I understood that it's actually working. And, investment is investment. It is very simple. The higher the risk, the higher the return, and you need to take it up. And I think that Silicon Valley is a very good example of what's happening at the moment. The success story over there is wonderful, and we should lead by example. I hope this answered your question, Your
Oman
Excellency.
Development Bank, I think they are thinking at the moment to have also to have different tools, not only traditional loans. They are seeking now to have also Islamic tool to give also consumer, because there are a sector in the country that are looking for this kind of category or this kind of service. Maybe you can help them. But
Inshallah, I'm ready. Whenever it is possible to serve the national economy and capacity building, it is our duty to serve.
Thank you so much. Yeah,
Jazakallah.
thank you so much. Are there any more questions?
Something in the chat box, I believe.
Let me check. Yes, it is from Mr. Venu. Dr. Fatin, in your view, why full national banks? We have one Islamic bank in Oman. Others are windows of conventional bank. Your comments, please.
They had the innovative, mindset. I mean, they were already there, set up. So for the Islamic Bank, when in 2013 they allowed them to come and form, they had to take their time to form, and they had to, find, the right minds. And then they were thinking a lot. When you are becoming a fully fledged, you also take the responsibility really seriously. Start thinking, no for credit card now, no for, sukuk now, no for, so they become more, reserved. And it's good to think, but it's not good to overthink. It's time, sometimes what I notice in other countries, they also do and think. So if you are taking your time to think about the product, someone else will come and bring it in. And of course, with the windows, they already have the team, they have the mindset, they have, the thinking process is there, the logistics is there, the HR is there. So it makes sense that they would be, more successful when it comes to the market share of Islamic finance.
Yes, yes, true. Thank you, Dr. Fatin. Are there any other questions? He says, thank you, very nicely explained.
Thank you, Mr. Benu.
I guess, all good things come to an end. And I guess your session also comes to an end with this. Thank you so much, Dr. Fatin. I would request, yes, thank you. I would request His Excellency, Mr. Salim, to please hand over a token of our appreciation to Dr. Fatin.
Okay, I will say it in Arabic then.
Please do.
دكتورة فاتن، شكرا نقدم لك من الجمعية للذكرى. وطبعا أنا ما حاضرتك الكاملة، ما تابعتها بصراحة، لكن في الجزء الأخير تابعته وهذا يدل أن حقيقة عندنا كوادر في عمان، كوادر بشرية لكن الحقيقة يمكن اللي ينقصنا البول أو by that Fatin, that and this certificate is from the institute to you, and you are one of the candidates that we're proud of in Oman, and maybe we have a problem in Oman that we don't have a pool to find the right candidate and the right competence people when we need them in some categories or sectors. Saying that, we are now working at the Ministry of Labor to create this pool so everybody can get benefit from this pool, private or government sector. My thanks also to your organization to be part of this session today, and I hope all the best for your organization in the future. Thank you very much.
جزاك الله ألف خير، ما قصرت. والوالد يسلم عليك سعادتك. تعرف أنت والدي سعيد جمعة زجالي.
ما شاء الله احنا قرابة ترى. سلمي عليه كثير.
جزاك الله ألف خير، إن شاء الله واصل.
شكرا دكتور فاتن، أحسنتي. نشوفك إن شاء الله في المكتب.
إن شاء الله جزاكم الله خير، ما قصرتوا، أحسنتوا لحسن الاستجابة.
شكرا أحسنتي، حياك الله.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Raviji, you have something to say?
One message, one more message to display. So we'll have this message from. I'll share the screen. This message is coming from CA Geetha AV, ex officio SIRC, and I'm just playing the message for everybody.
Good evening, Namaste. Greetings from SIRC Bengaluru, ICAI. I am Geetha, past chairperson of Bengaluru branch and regional council member of SIRC of ICAI. Wishing you all a happy International Women's Day. One is not born as a woman. One becomes a woman. And when she does, she comes with the ability to manage versatile tasks. I immensely appreciate each of you because I know how hard it is to strike a balance between personal and professional lives. Though we don't always succeed in striking a perfect balance, we are at least doing fairly on both the sides. Today, we are not here to celebrate the power of women, but to celebrate what we are today. There's no glass ceiling to break and move upwards. She needs to be constant in her work, in upgrading her skills, and ensure that our voice is heard in all the areas. According to me, this 24 hours is too short to appreciate or recognize our deeds of women. Because Women's Day for me is just a pass that makes us to realize all our efforts that we have gone through all these years. Remember, we are here for a specific reason. Make your dreams bigger than your doubts and becomes architect of your own future. When you truly wish to achieve something, the world will put things in place for you to achieve it. I congratulate CA Prabhu, Chairperson of Muscat Chapter ICAI, for organizing this event and wishing all women happy Women's Day.
Thank you. I hope everybody heard.
Yes, we could hear. We thank her for her lovely message. I guess now it is time to do the vote of thanks. May I now request CA Aastha Rangan to do the vote of thanks for today to conclude today's event. To you, Aastha.
Good evening, everybody. I wish all of you a very happy Women's Day and congratulations to the chapter for organizing a successful event, that too by Dr. Fatin. It was a wonderful presentation. On behalf of the chapter, I would like to thank everybody. Special thanks to HE Syed Salim Muslim Al-Busaidi, then CA Nihar Jambusurya, Mr. Praveen Kumar, Ms. Soni, Dr. Fatin for your presentation, Mrs. Sayyida, Dr. Rawan Ahmed Al-Saidi, Mrs. Najat Al-Lawati, Mrs. Zaliya Al-Balushi, Ms. Krishnamoorthy, and Ms. Geetha. Thank you everybody for your participation on a working day and making this Women's Day a memorable event for all of us. Thank you everybody. Over to you, Shilpa.
No, Aastha ji, let's
Thank you, Aastha ji.
Yeah, thank you. And before after this, we have one more contribution. We need to say that all the ladies have done this a wonderful job. So
yes, that is true.
Because I understood that you cannot congratulate yourself. So I want to congratulate everybody and thank you everybody. Ashwini, the 3A, Ashwini ji, Anu ji, and Aastha ji, for their support to the chapter at all the way. And Nalini ji, especially Afsan Patel and Shilpa ji for their contribution and coming be with me for the whole day to organize this event in wholeheartedly. Sangeeta Kumari ji and Babita ji who has joined this event and all the ladies who are there, and I just wish everybody a happy International Women's Day. Thank you. Sorry,
and special thanks to college, CBFS.
Yeah. Dr.
Special
Rajesh
thanks to college and Dr. Rajesh for supporting the chapter.
And
Dr.
a big,
Rajesh,
very big thank you. Yeah.
Dr. Rajesh, are you there?
Okay.
Yeah, Dr. Rajesh, if you are here, come forward.
Yeah, if everybody can open their cameras, we can have a photo.
Yeah. Aastha ji, you take the honor.
Rajesh, I'm taking.
Okay.
Dr. Rajesh, are you there with us?
A big thank you to His Excellency for being there right from the beginning to the end. Your presence actually makes the difference, and it actually makes us feel honored. And you know that we women are the Women's Day program that we are doing. Also, your presence shows how important you think we are. So thank you so much for that.
It's my pleasure always.
Shilpa ji, one more thank. I missed it. Sorry. Can I recognize the two of them? Because Anuji, I want to say I say special thanks to Anuji because she organized the messages from all the messages coming now from these beautiful ladies from the leadership. So the Anuji was the coordinating person, and she actually helped us in getting some of the messages. For the special thank to Anuji. Okay.
My pleasure.
Thank you. Thank you.
And all the messages were really special and very nicely done. Thank you. We should actually, collate them and keep them for memory. They are really good.
Yes, very true.
Thank you all.
Thank you all. I guess with this, I don't want to say a goodbye, but like I said, all good things come to an end. Before I close, again, I wish you all a very happy Women's Day. Thank you all for your presence here, and have a good day. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Take care. Masalama.
Dr. Fatin, you were very clear and crisp. And excellent presentation.
Thank you so much. Really means a lot. And I'm sorry that you missed Dr. Rajesh, but inshallah in future. Maybe I texted him for a group photo. I think next time. Sure. Take care, Masaram.
Thank you.
Shukran. Thank you so much.
Okay, Shilpa ji, very good job.
Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you.
Oh, by the way, Nalini ji ko gift de dena. She came first in the quiz.
In the the contest.
We'll give some gift. Definitely.
Let it be an e-certificate as long as you give us something.
No, it will not be e-certificate. Jim Saab will manage that something.
Okay.
I'll ask him.
Good job,
Shilpa
and Ravi ji. Very well organized.
Thank you. Bye.
Thank you.
Bye.
Okay.
Bye.
Good event. Okay. Thank you, Afsan ji.